I wanted to show you my new puppy. It's so cute. And besides that, I wanted to tell you how I'm staying resilient in a moment of, as you know, challenge, going through chemotherapy and everything. So I've been trying to help myself in all of the ways possible. So when I went through the colon cancer in 2020, I I felt the need of getting a pet because there were many difficult times and moments where I was very tired. So when this second cancer arrived, then I said, well, it's time. I'm not gonna go through chemotherapy again without uh, something that is going to help me, that is going to take me out. um, and that is going to also make me go walking when maybe I don't feel like it, which is going to improve my energy and the way that I think. So this is why as soon as I knew that I was that they told me you have to do 6 cycles of chemotherapy, then it became very urgent. And I chose a Yorkshire Terrier because I had an experience once with the Yorkie of a friend, and I was not doing well at that time, and that puppy was always by my side. So it was something that, even though it wasn't my dog, it was always by my side. So that was very interesting for me, and that's why I chose this breed. Anyway, so I wanted to share because a lot of people ask me how can I be so resilient even though I'm going through this huge challenge, right? Not only resilient, but also, and enthusiastic, and I'm still enjoying this part of my life. So let me ask you this question. How is it that some people are overwhelmed by the slightest disruption in their lives, while others seem to make it through catastrophe and these huge challenges relatively unscathed? What do you think is, or like, have you ever seen that? Have you ever noticed that sometimes there are two people that are experiencing the same the same, it's gonna be hard keeping my focus. The same exact event, such as I don't know, they lose their job, or they're managing big things, or they're fighting a serious illness like I'm doing now, or they're going through divorce, or there are many things. So two people experiencing the same thing, and they can react in completely different ways. So what's the and this is where I have studied a lot. I have studied a lot the subject because when I was going through the first cancer, I said, what is something that could help me even more right now? So I already had a background of personal development, being a high performance coach. So I already had worked a lot in my mindset. But in that moment, I said, okay, I need to double down on resilience and emotional intelligence, because this is, let's say the universe raised the stakes, right? So it was something harder. And this is why during that illness in 2020, I started studying emotional intelligence and resilience. And then, I ended up certifying as an emotional intelligence coach and a resilience coach, right? So I learned a lot of things. So, and one of the things that I'm doing for my business right now is measuring, so assessing emotional intelligence. So emotional intelligence are 15 skills. One of those is the tolerance of stress, right? Flexibility, And I also assess how resilient a person is. So that's the hardiness resilience gauge, right? So it's a specific tool that can tell you how resilient you are, and it's going to measure some characteristics. So hardiness is a set of personality traits that allow the individual to defend. It's okay. Anyway, so let me stay serious because I want to share this with you guys, but it's difficult. See, this is how something like this can make you smile, even though. So I was talking about hardiness. So hardiness is a set of, let's say, personality traits that allow people to defend themselves against the negative effects of stress. And this hardiness has a major influence on a person's capacity to adapt and cope, right? When shit happens. So difficult and unexpected situations. Resilience is that ability to recover quickly from adversity and stressful situations. And so there are several things, right? So I wanted to share that with you because sometimes that is not clear. These are sometimes words that we don't understand what they are. So in this assessment, there are three major areas of resiliency that are measured, which are challenge, control, and commitment. So these three factors, they work together in synchrony, creating a mindset and a worldview that it's really effective in helping you stay resilient and coping in stressful situations. So let's say it's a constellation of qualities, right? That is found in these people that are so-called hardy and resilient. So let me maybe let me maybe share what that means. So there is challenge, seeing change as something exciting, seeing that novelty as an opportunity to learn and to grow, right? So challenge. A lot of people don't like when situations change and they only see, what they could lose, but they don't welcome that as an opportunity. Okay, I'm gonna be uncomfortable, but I'm gonna learn. So that is it's having that appreciation for variety, for change, for exploration, uh, to grow from failures, to grow through what you go through, right? So is that tendency that some people have to perceive difficult situations not as a punishment or torture, or they perceive difficult situations. So there's a filter, it's a different filter. They perceive difficult situations as challenges to overcome rather than a threat. So they perceive, so people that have low in this category. So if you would take the test and let's say this area is low, basically what it means is that you might perceive unexpected changes as overwhelming and threatening, as the opposite, people with high score in challenge, they perceive the same change as an opportunity to learn and grow, right? So for example, when I was diagnosed with this thing, yes, it hit me, but then I say, okay, I learned a lot of things the past cancer. Now, what is it that I'm going to learn now? And how is this going to make me a better person? And what character is going to reveal, right? and I am enthusiastic about the person that, this challenge is forging, right? Incredible amount of pride of how I'm showing up. So that's a mentality. So people that maybe would take the test, if it's low, usually people have resistance, so they are reluctant to embrace change. They may see little value in novelty. They may see failure as a confirmation of they are not being good enough, or their weaknesses or incompetence. Where a person with high score in this area would see failures as stepping stones towards success. Then we have the control area, right? How many people, they focus on things they cannot control. So having a sense of control of self-efficacy, of self-efficacy, and the belief that you can influence the outcomes, the results in your life, right? So this is also known as agency, right? In psychology, we have heard the term internal locus of control, right? So how does that look like? That is this is the last time we go live together. Control. It's difficult to do this and be serious. So control, that is a belief that an individual has that ability to be a causal agent in their own lives, right? It's that willingness to make choices about your life and accept responsibility. So it's about ownership, right? As long as I believe that what's happening is, and I blame people or circumstances, as long as I have a scapegoat, then I cannot know how I contributed, because we're always co-creating our reality. So if you don't take ownership of, at least how you show up in the situation, or how you can, your attitude or something, then the situation cannot improve. So this area of control, so the assessment, when it measures this area of control, is going to I forget what I was going to say. Okay, so it captures how a person might feel about their destiny, right? About their, I don't know, legacy. So despite the uncertainty, they have a strong sense of purpose, and they have a strong sense of control when they approach new situations with confidence, because they believe that they can influence results, right? That they are not victims. So that is very important, along with, let me maybe tell you how also it doesn't, oh my goodness. So it's already late, and I decided to go live with the dog to talk about this serious subject. And of course it's hard. But it's fun. Let me stay with it. So so if you would score low in control, you may believe that there is little that you can do to influence things in your life. You might be fearful about the future. You may feel you might feel powerless when unexpected things happen. And then there's the third category that is measured in this assessment, which is commitment. Yeah, commitment, which is, that feeling of being engaged and seeing part of your life as interesting and meaningful. Stop biting. Stevie, I'm gonna put you down because I cannot talk with my friends. Cannot talk with my friends. Okay. Okay. That was hard. That was hard. What was talking about? Commitment is finding meaning, right? Even in that, one of my favorite books in personal development is Man's Search for Meaning. And, this book was written by Viktor Frankl, who was a Austrian psychologist, psychiatrist, I think, that he survived the Holocaust. So in this book, he says, talk about credentials about resiliency, right? Surviving the Holocaust. So in this book, he says that people who were able to find a strong why and an empowering meaning can survive anyhow. And that the last of the human freedoms is how you react, so your attitude in any given set of circumstances. And in the concentration camps, the people that were able to find meaning were more likely to endure, versus the people that didn't find any meaning or any strong why, they would perish more easily. So also in this book, and this is something that I always help my clients with, is realizing that between a stimulus and response, there is a space. And in that space is all the emotional intelligence, right? We tend to believe that it is circumstances that make me feel the way that I feel, but it's never circumstances or people. It's my interpretation, right? The meaning that I assign to that, right? So we have to take responsibility for that. And of course, the way that I interpret has to do a lot with my experiences, my beliefs, my culture. There's a lot of things there, right? I encourage you to go and look at the perception scale, right? So you understand a little bit everything that is going to influence the way you assign meaning, because the way you perceive, let's not forget that there's no reality, there's only the perception of that reality. So the way you perceive the world is going to dictate how you operate in the world. So commitment, seeing an empowering meaning, and seeing parts of your life, even though they might be hard, as interesting. So for example, right now I am learning a lot through this challenge. I have found ways of making it interesting, as the rogue theme, because I'm trying to help people with a different approach. So for me, this whole concept of going rogue as a cancer patient, that I am embodying, as the X-Men character Rogue, right? It carries a lot of meaning. And it also helps me with some guidelines of, what would a rogue cancer patient do? How do I behave? How do I set boundaries? How do I stay enthusiastic and resilient during this? How can I endure this better, right? So people that maybe have low commitment, they might not have a strong sense of purpose, right? They may not be curious about what's happening in that world. And if you have followed a little bit what I've been saying, I have this big purpose, right? So with the first cancer, I had already raised my hand and said, I want to help people that are going through big health challenges, particularly cancer, to deal better with that challenge with emotional intelligence and resilience. So sometimes it happens that when you raise your hand and you have a big purpose and you have a big dream, the universe tends to give you more problems. So you develop the skills. So I believe, so the meaning that I have assigned to what's happening to me, because things don't happen to you, they happen for you. So my empowering meaning is this is happening because I am being forged. I am being prepared because I have a big purpose. So if me going through this challenge is going to help you deal better with yours, then whatever I'm going through right now, and I'm even by sharing my perspective, can make a difference. So maybe my experience can be a survival manual for somebody else. For me, that's a big purpose. So do you see how having that kind of interpretation, having that kind of meaning, it makes it easier to carry? One of my favorite quotes is, "It's not the load that breaks you down, it's the way you carry it." Right? So it's very important. So if you're ever curious, if you're ever curious, I highly encourage you to be curious how resilient you are or how emotional intelligent you are. This is something that we can do together, and I can help you. And so these assessments are very affordable. They give you a full report of all the skills of how resilient you are and how you score in each category, and how they are these subscales that influence each other, and you already have some strategies. So let me put it this way. Sometimes when we want to change our lives, we need to know where we are, right? This is why we cannot change what we don't measure. So let me ask you this. Let's say you are inviting a friend for dinner, and this friend gets lost and cannot find your house. So this friend calls and say, "Hey, I'm lost." What's the first question that you would ask your friend? Probably it's going to be, "Well, where are you?" Right? Because you cannot give directions to somebody that is lost if you don't know where they are. The same happens psychologically. If we don't know where we are, it is very difficult to have the clarity and the directions to change our lives, right? So if you're having trouble with stress and overwhelm, and there's a difficult challenge, then this is the time to learn those skills. If you are not going through any challenge right now, but you want to prepare in advance, so you want to do a preemptive strike, it would be great that you also assess and that you start developing this before something bad happens, right? I am so lucky and so blessed that because of all the work that I did in personal development, these illnesses didn't strike me unprepared, right? So with the first cancer, what I did is I just doubled down on what could help me. So that's very interesting. Another thing that is going to be helpful for resiliency is understanding how the narrative, how also your energetic, how your energetic, it's late, people, it's almost midnight in Switzerland, how your energetic state affects you. And how the narrative affects your energetic state, and how the energetic state is going to affect how you deal with things. So this is very important. And of course, having the basics covered, right? Self-care, good sleep, relationships. Every time that I ask my clients, list, some of the practices that you're doing for your well-being. A lot of people don't mention relationships, and the quality of your life is the quality of your relationships. So another thing that is important to do is like assessing your whole life, right? There are 10 areas of our lives. a lot of people sometimes, when there is a challenge at work or in a relationship, they feel as the whole life is falling apart. But these 10 areas of your life, they are as 10 pillars, right? So when there is something happening and there's one pillar or two, then I don't get to destabilize because all the others are in place. So it's very important that when you want to improve your life, to work holistically, to give attention to all of this. So I invite you to, and also if you want to help me right now, to do these assessments. And then we will have a debrief together, to do these assessments, and to also, I can give you, and this is free, I can send you like these assessments of your life, so you have an idea where you are right now. And of course, also I have frameworks to help you create a vision for your life, so you can create the right goals, right? Where there's no vision, people perish. So we must be conscious of that. So I wanted to share that with you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for following my journey of the rogue cancer patient. And I'll see you next time.